All these reports, I don't know where they all come from, but, we always believe in competition. I think, though, at the same time, we are great believers in what Trey Lance brings to the table. We believe he's ready. He's going to have to show that. I think he's ready to show that to us, show that to his teammates, and show that to the world. So we're excited for that opportunity that he has.
The context for that question, I didn't set it up the right way. I was so caught up in my two houses stupid-ass example. The context for that was, what about the reports that Trey Lance has been promised the starting job for 2022? And I think to the extent that there are any reports along those lines, they naturally flow from the things Kyle Shanahan said at the league meetings when he said, yeah, the whole idea was Jimmy moves on and Trey becomes the starter. So I don't think anybody promised him anything. I think the circumstances convey a message to everyone. You didn't go out and give up 3 first-round picks and a third-round pick for a guy that you're going to sit on the bench indefinitely. Jed York's clumsy attempt to compare this to Joe Montana and Steve Young notwithstanding, nobody's buying that. In today's NFL, you don't make that kind of a move with the plan going in that you're going to sit the guy for 2 years, when one of the reasons you're doing is you want to move on from the guy that you've got under contract for the next 2 years. You don't want him there anymore. You didn't draft Trey Lance to make him the starter once Jimmy Garoppolo's contract expires and he moves on via free agency.
Right.
You got Trey Lance to make him the starter, ideally by 21, at the latest by 22. Otherwise, you don't give up all that stuff to get him. That's where that came from. And when he talks about competition, when Lynch talks about competition, that's more of this effort to try to get people to believe they're going to pay Jimmy Garoppolo $25 million. I can't believe they'd be that stubborn. Now, stubborn is as stubborn does, but I can't believe they would be that stubborn that they want to pull off this ruse all the way to the point where they would pay the guy $25 million to not be the starting quarterback.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see how willing or how far they're willing to go. I think when it comes down to it, they won't, like you're talking about. They're just going to try to drive a hard bargain and do whatever they can to make it happen now. But you said it right. I mean, all those assets, everything like that. The combine. The owner meetings, comments by Shanahan. I mean, John Lynch yesterday. We believe he's ready to show the world. I mean, okay, so he's ready. Yes, and then you talk about it too. Like you heard what George Kittle said. The guy's got talent. He's got to play. He needs to get out there and get reps. It's the only way you're going to get better. They got to play him this year. Like, one of the biggest issues that anybody would talk about, or anybody who's looked at this guy and watched him play, go, he's got to get on the field and do something. He didn't do that much in college. I mean, they'd go games where he'd throw the ball like single digits. So he didn't run the 2-minute drill in college, ever. And I know you can go, well, they were always winning. Yeah, North Dakota State is like the Alabama of that kind of football there. They dominate. They can almost steamroll every team they play. So this is a guy that does not have a lot of experience in football situations. He's being taught by an offensive genius in Shanahan, and he's got some talent. So they got to get him out there and get him playing to what you're saying, Mike. Totally agree.
There's something about the 49ers, and, all the people out there, oh, you hate the 49ers. This is an honest and fair assessment. During football season, it feels like the 49ers have their act together, week in and week out. Like, they've got it figured out. And last year they had some struggles. They got it together. They got within a game of the Super Bowl. The year before that, they were racked by injuries. They were through it. The year before that, they get to the Super Bowl. They almost win it. But, boy, it just seems like in the offseason they don't know what to do. They don't know how to handle things. They constantly have something going on, and there's constantly this impression that they've got some plan that doesn't work. Like, they need to have football season last 10 months out of the year to be their absolute best. They just don't do off-season very well.
Well, they're aggressive. I think they have aggressive mindset and thoughts. They've been stuck in some tough situations. You're right. I mean, whether it's last year's draft and just the handling of some of the Jimmy Garoppolo stuff, but overall, yes, this has not been the best situation. It's still one of the top franchises and teams in the sport. It is. They've had some things to question here. There's no doubt about it. But you look at the coaches leaving there and going other places, front office people going places, all of that. You know, like you said, Super Bowl and NFC Championship game 2 out of 3 years. You know, yeah, they got their issues, but I still look at them and go, damn, things are pretty good in San Francisco compared to the rest of the league.
I just feel like when they're not caught up in the day in and day out grind of getting ready for games, they sit around and outsmart themselves.
Yeah, I hear
they
what
do
you mean.
things
I know.
that they shouldn't do, and they lose sight of things that maybe they should have done, like taking care of their relationship with Deebo Samuel, like scouting Patrick Mahomes in 2017 instead of just saying, we're going to get Kirk Cousins next year in free agency. We don't need to worry about these quarterbacks. Maybe you should have. Saying no to Tom Brady 2 years ago when he wanted to come to San Francisco, something you had reported. That was his first choice. Not Miami, not Tampa, not anywhere but San Francisco. And they said, we'll stick with Jimmy G. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just an observation I'm making.
Yeah, I hear
49ers
you.
fans.
I hear you.
Your team is great during football season. When it's not football season, something goes haywire, and we're in the middle of haywire right now.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.